Cognitive dissonance. Why your brain lies to you. Have you ever caught yourself doing something that completely goes against what you believe? Maybe you know that smoking is harmful, yet you continue to smoke. Perhaps you believe exercise is essential for good health, but you keep postponing going to the gym. Or maybe you value honesty, but you once told a small lie to avoid an uncomfortable situation. If you've experienced this, you're not alone. This psychological phenomenon is called cognitive dissonance, and it affects every human being. Cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort we experience when our beliefs, values, or attitudes conflict with our actions. Our brains naturally seek consistency. We want our thoughts and behaviors to align because consistency makes us feel stable and in control. When they don't match, the brain becomes uncomfortable. Imagine believing that you are a healthy person while eating fast food every day, or believing that education is your highest priority while spending hours scrolling through social media instead of studying. This conflict creates psychological tension. The interesting part is that people usually don't change their behavior immediately. Instead, they often change the story they tell themselves. Someone who smokes may say, "My grandfather smoked every day and lived to 90. A student who avoids studying might say, "I work better under pressure." Someone who spends too much money could tell themselves, "Life is short, I deserve this." These explanations reduce the uncomfortable feeling without actually solving the problem. Psychologists believe this happens because changing our beliefs is often easier than changing our habits. Cognitive dissonance appears in many areas of daily life. It influences our relationships. It affects our spending habits. It shapes political opinions. It even changes how we remember past events. For example, after making a difficult decision, people often convince themselves they made the best possible choice, even if they had doubts before. This helps reduce the discomfort of wondering whether they made a mistake. Marketing experts also understand cognitive dissonance very well. After buying an expensive product, customers often experience doubt. They ask themselves whether they spent too much money. To reduce this feeling, they begin focusing on all the positive features of the product while ignoring its flaws. This is one reason why people defend purchases they later regret. Social media makes cognitive dissonance even stronger. People present perfect versions of their lives online while privately struggling with stress, loneliness, or anxiety. The difference between reality and appearance creates internal conflict that often increases emotional exhaustion. The good news is that cognitive dissonance is not always harmful. In fact, it can become one of the strongest forces for personal growth. When you recognize that your actions don't match your values, you have an opportunity to change. Instead of creating excuses, you can ask yourself a simple question. What action would make my behavior match my beliefs? Sometimes the answer is surprisingly small. Studying for 10 minutes, taking a short walk, apologizing after making a mistake, turning off your phone to focus. Small actions reduce cognitive dissonance more effectively than endless excuses. Over time, these small choices reshape your habits and strengthen your identity. The next time you hear yourself making excuses, pause for a moment. Ask yourself whether you're solving the problem, or simply making yourself feel better. Because cognitive dissonance isn't proof that you're weak, it's proof that your mind is trying to protect itself from discomfort. The real challenge isn't eliminating that discomfort. The real challenge is choosing growth instead of excuses. And sometimes, the smallest honest action is more powerful than the biggest perfect intention.